What load of rubbish that was.
Yeah. Crap. Pure and utter crap. Born.
I can't believe I put myself watching through that crap for. Hey! Good evening, everybody, and especially you, Paddy. You're making your debut on the show, mate. Hello to everybody in the chat.
What a night to make it.
Exactly.
Yeah, what a night to make your debut. Your virgin debut.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Glory Hunter.
Welcome everybody in the chat. DC, FIFA, Martin. I think Sub's in there. Hey, we've even got I think Stan's trying to come on here, but he's hang on. Hey! Just saying, Stan, what a load of shit that was.
Do you know, it disappoints me, things like that. You know, we they weren't much better than Everton, were they? Let's be honest.
It was worse than Everton. But you know something, to be fair, are we sensing something really, really special with his team?
Yeah, 100%, Andy.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
yeah.
100%, because Paddy Arkin is the best debutant I've ever seen.
Who?
Paddy Arkin.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone in chat. I don't know if you've seen me little teaser on Twitter saying that we've got a regular panelist, you know, who'll be joining us from Sunday. Well, it's going to be Paddy. He's joining us from tonight, and really welcome on board, sir. You know, we're going to get you.
Delighted to have you, Paddy.
Yes. Yeah.
Good to be here.
He's been in the background and he's done a lot of work in the background. It can't, you know, it's nice to be able to make public just how much he has done in the back to help us.
Absolutely, Stan. Spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. Paddy's been instrumental in a lot of things. What's gone on? Riz can't be with us tonight because he's actually at the match. The lucky sod. But yeah, right. Let's go through it. From minute one, we just didn't.
We'll let you total control.
We'll let you go first, Paddy, seeing as it's your debut. We just didn't let him touch the ball, did we? You know, Edison. Courtois made 3 brilliant saves as well from Haaland. But let's not underestimate the work Haaland did as well, dragging 2 players all the time, creating that space. Go, sir.
They were lucky it was 4-0 and not 6 or 7, because Haaland should have had 2 or 3 tonight. But I was worried at 2-0. I thought maybe we should sit back a bit and control the game rather than go for the third goal and get caught. But then, obviously, when the third goal went in, then that kind of paid to that. But at 2-0, I was worried that we were playing too fast. I thought we should slow the way down and not chase the third goal, because obviously Real Madrid are no mugs in this competition, you know what I mean? But
that's a great point, that, Paddy, because at 2-0 you feel we're playing Real Madrid here, aren't we? We're really playing Real Madrid. But you know something? They had a bit of possession early second half, Anne-Marie, but we just thought it was just like, right, we better go up a gear there, sort this out, and then we can calm down again. Against Real Madrid, they're no mugs.
No, they're not at all. But we did what we needed to do, and there wasn't a single player you could find fault with on our team tonight. They were all incredible, every single one of them, and it was just a delight to watch. It was, you know, you kind of sat there pinching yourself, because while we know how good we are, when you see yourself up against what would normally be the top team in Europe, and we just brushed them aside tonight, quite literally brushed them aside. It makes you realise just how lucky we are at this moment in time. And Pep's reaction to all the goals, and even at the end, you know, he went down the tunnel and then came back out celebrating. I think you can see what this means to him, and I think tonight's result gives us the impetus to go on, sort the league out this weekend, and then that lets us set ourselves ready for the cup final against United.
Absolutely. Stan, it's like I said a little bit earlier, mate, you just feel, hey, look at Hammer, he's on the alcohol. And here's me on my
7-Up.
Hey, we should have been 7-Up, Stan, shouldn't we? Like I was saying a little bit earlier, pal, I just sense there's something special happening here. I can't put my finger on it. It's just they seem invincible. Like they know they're not going to be beat. Are you smiling at?
No, oh God, it's just not in our nature, is it? Paddy's shaking his head here. He knows what. I was talking to people at work today, and they were saying, like, you should beat them, you should do this and what have you. But they're very good, Madrid and all that. And I says, well, you're never going to get we should win out of me, because we're just not like that. I said, but the closest I'll come to it is that they've never beaten us in Manchester. They've never beaten us. And we put 4 past them last time they were here. So there is no reason why we shouldn't blow them away. But you're not going to be shouting that from the rooftops, are you? Now, I was disappointed it took us nearly half an hour to get to this time, and we've done it after 10 minutes last time. So I just think Pep was toying with them. And, I like to look at things a bit different. And the tempo we played at, I think what it was because we were at home. Last week, we did touch at the end where we didn't all bomb forward. The Haaland and the De Bruyne bit. And we just said, right, okay, let's keep it back. Now, I thought that was brilliant for that occasion because we were away and we only had to come back and we've got the draw. This time, I think he weighed it up because the away goals have gone. It's do or die, isn't it? It's tonight's, that's it. Decisions made tonight. We're at home. We've got the crowd behind us. And if we keep the tempo right up, they're not going to be used to that because they're used to playing in a slower league. And maybe if we're hustling them, they'll start giving the ball away. And they did for the first half hour. I think their passing was no more than 50%. I know stats on their own don't mean nothing. But
well, you're our resident stato.
No, but you know what I'm getting at? If you're hustling a team and they're giving the ball away, you're going to be able to make attacks further up the pitch.
Do you know something, though, Paddy? It's games like this, you don't go through individual performances, do you? You go through collectively. However, we've got to give Akanji some respect, mate. Not just for his goal, yet again, and even Walker. To keep, and I've not even had a drink. Keep Vinicius Junior quiet yet again. And at one point, he gave him like a 5-yard start. And we thought, oh, he's gonna be in here, And all of a sudden, Walker, boom, boom, boom. He's being interviewed now by BT Sport, but
see that.
It's just like Pep's tinkered with the inverted. Okay, he did sort of tonight with Stones in midfield, but it seemed more structured, didn't it, tonight? I just thought it was a fantastic performance, mate.
I don't know who he said, but one of them commentators was saying that he is a tactical genius and he has found a way to make sure that the strengths of all the players are in there. Yeah. And it's right.
Going forward, the only predicament I can see Pep facing is when Aki is fit, because the rest of them start. It's either Aki or Akanji plus 10, because you can't change that team.
No,
even against Chelsea now, he might be able to make changes as far as with Arsenal, but going forward, even in the FA Cup final against United, that's the 11 starts. And then you have a toss up then between Aki or Akanji, but the rest of them start.
Yeah. I'd just like to a special hello to my oldest and dearest friend Baz. He lives in Australia now. Good evening, Baz. Baz was the first one I ever went to Main Road with back in the day. So good morning there. If you have past 5 in the morning. Wow. Yeah. I just obviously I'm not a fan of the Champions League, but I always love it when City win. But I just think we're going to stick it up a lot of them with this Anne-Marie, because I don't know. I'm almost lost for words with the performance. Is it the best ever performance in the Champions League? For me, it is.
Yes, it is. I honestly believe it is. I would go so far as to say total control of that game tonight. And I am of the opinion that tonight's game means we win the treble. That's how confident I am. Because I think...
Jesus Christ.
Oh, no, but God bless you there, Anne-Marie.
She's on the beer. We'd have to forgive her. She's on the beer.
No, I listen. I'm on 7-Up, and I'm totally with what she's saying, and that's what I'm saying. It's like even now on BT Sport, you've got Jack Grealish, so like being interviewed at the side of Kyle Walker as well. You know, just like a chit chat. The camaraderie that them boys have got.
Yeah.
I just wish, pardon me French, I just wish Ferdinand had fuck off.
That's a really bad swear word, Andy.
What, Ferdinand? Sorry.
Yes.
But like I said, there's just something really special. Good evening, Spencer, Mark, Julie, Big Morg, Amaral. Sorry if I've said that wrong. Captain Harris. Yeah, it was. You'll be glad. I'm just lost for words.
I'm more pleased Bernardo got those 2 goals.
That's what I was going to say. Last week, I actually said, and I got slaughtered a little bit, that Bernardo had a bit of a shocker last week. And he's actually come out in his post-match and said he had a shocker, by the way. But I said I wouldn't want anybody different playing tonight than Bernardo, even though he had a shocker last week. And I just thought that his second goal was special, wasn't it? He's just like... And the way we just dominated Camel Finger as well. No matter where he played, we just, in the end, he got substituted. And that says a lot.
Did he get the Camel Finger to come off?
Well, he's not. He's the pundit at the minute on BT, the Camel Finger. Oh, hang on a minute, Anne-Marie.
There's no need to be gobby.
Oh, whoa, Big Mark.
No, he's straight in there. That's
Oh, sweet Jesus.
What did Big Ron Atkinson used to say? He's gone in there with an early reducer. That's a 2-footed tackle straight into the back of Anne-Marie's ankles.
Just 3 tackles. That.
Jealousy, boys. Big Morg, if I ever met you, I'd give you a big kiss and a hug too.
Morg, I'll message you a number later.
Tell you what, I can see Riyad's car. He's got the motor running. He'll be rounding a bit. You're on the beer. You're smiling.
Good evening. Not you, Stan. Our Bulgarian friend Stan. Good evening to you, buddy. Hope you are well. Yeah, we absolutely killed them, mate. We really, really did. Blue Heart. Good evening, my friend. Absolutely. And to Benzema, whatever. Tomatoes. Even Vinicius Jr., they've just looked. We're not going to do it. Gail Platt got substituted because he was getting nowhere. Did anybody see Sergio Aguero? I put it I put it in the group and I also put it on Twitter. Sergio on his Twitch, there in his City shirt tonight, doing his Twitch channel, his live. I love that man. So yeah, the two Ronnies are back, baby. Oh, Captain Harris, did you like the way I left that as the outro last week on Sunday, pal?
We did say that. Good job I was awake enough to pick it up.
Big Mo, do you and Anne-Marie just want to get a room?
What the hell? I'll tell you what, though, Andy. In the Spanish press, obviously, I read a lot of it, and they absolutely slaughtered Ireland last week. They forgot City scored, and it's no good keeping him quiet. Like whack-a-mole. You whack him down, and somebody else has come up. And they've done it again today. They've concentrated on him. But I tell you what, nothing has been worse than Benzema.
Mm-hmm.
What an absolute flop he's been in them 2 games. And I'm not having it off anyone. All right, you can score a million against Tenerife down in your club barbacoa league, but nah.
Yeah. Paddy, it was like, I know I've mentioned Vinicius Jr. as well, but it's almost he didn't believe that he could beat the old man Walker in both games, innit? It's like, especially after the first game, he didn't have a sniff. He tried to move inside. He got no joy there because Stones was mopping everything up.
It made no difference what he tried because Walker was all over him. And it's not that these boys were bad; they were made to look bad, and we just. That first half an hour, he just took the hope out of them. I know he had a quick 5 or 10 minutes in the second half, if you could even call it that. But at one, I was thinking we should invoice them for the lesson we were giving them.
No.
It's like what Anne-Marie, what Blue Art's saying. We've just watched something very special, which pretty much we've touched upon on it. To make Real Madrid look totally average in a Champions League semi is more than incredible. It was like, like when the only way I can put it, Anne-Marie, is in the Premier League. Sometimes we have enough to dig in to win a game because of that Premier League experience.
Yeah,
I was expecting a bit more of that of Real Madrid tonight, because they've won it 14 times. I was expecting them to be a bit, bit streetwise.
yeah.
They didn't get chance from minute one. And don't forget, let's make the 2 good saves from Edison as well, at crucial times.
Yeah, you're dead right, Andy. And it's
obviously,
but we were in a completely different league tonight, and it reminds me a bit of the Arsenal game in that we had total control, and we made a good team look very ordinary. Tonight we've made a great team look very ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
And what it shows you is how far we've come since last season.
Absolutely.
Because even if you listen to the commentators, even with 10 minutes to go, they were saying, "Oh, this time last year, City were a minute from being in the final," and they kept referencing it like we were wishing it was going to happen.
I said that to me, lad.
Once we scored the 3rd goal and then the 4th one, it was, they couldn't do anything, and the commentators couldn't do anything but say how well we played.
Did you notice as well, Anne-Marie, that they kept trying to goad Lescott into celebrating to more or less wipe out the abuse what Ferdinand got last week for.
Yeah.
There was more. Lescott. We thought he was gonna jump off the commentary onto the pitch and stuff like that. They devious arseholes. But something. Thankfully, it's not them who play on the pitch. It's Pep's boys who play on the pitch.
Yeah.
And I said to my lad as well as Ireland was going off, and if he was here now, I'd tell you, would it be great for Alvarez to score now as soon as he comes on in place of Ireland? My lad just went. But it's, as I say, we're witnessing something very special, Stan.
Oh, it is, and the thing is, I tell you what, watch the press in the morning turn around and start saying that wasn't a vintage Real Madrid, and they weren't that great, and as they've not done so well in La Liga, they're not quite as good as they were. Just to try and belittle it a little bit. That's you can see that coming a mile off.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get and I am going to say this because we're going to need a bigger pot anyway, because the amount of boiling that's going to be going on in the next few weeks if we get everything. you'll have never seen out like it in your life. But you know, people saying you're spending too much money. What Akanji, what was it? 15 million?
15.
You know, whether they like it or not.
He should be up there for player of the season, you know.
I tell you who is. Well, should be. And he could be doing something that is special. Alvarez, if he does the treble here with his World Cup, I can't think of anyone who's won 4 of them in the same season. Yeah, and he was only 15 million.
You can't even call
it 8 million or 10 million or something like that. But the bargains are out there. It's just you got loads of lazy fans of other places that like.
We're buying from own bargains, mate.
Well, the thing is, it's where it's come from is we have to pay that extra tax at the beginning to get into the position we're in now. And you notice not one single club went, hang on a minute, are you sure? 70 million for so-and-so. Make it 50 million and then that'll be a little bit fairer. Then it'll make it look right. They all took the money. They were all happy to take the money. And now we've got ourselves into a position where we've got players and we can spend that extra year making sure we get Haaland instead of Kane. You know, getting Alvarez early. And we don't need to bring him in till June. Now we don't need to pay that. We walked away from Cucurella. We walked away from loads of them. We can do it now.
I was just about to say that, Stan. We walked away from.
Yeah, and all right. Yes, we did pay a lot of money for all those players early on, but you're going to have to. That's the tax. That's the tax you have to pay to get in there. But we've done it now, and well, God forbid.
Yeah, Paddy, with what Julie's saying now, I was telling people I was feeling that this year was our year for the treble. I just needed us to get through Real Madrid, and that just goes back to what we were saying a little bit earlier about we just feel like there's something special. It's like Stan more or less said, the piss what we're going to be boiling, you know, especially after tonight. We didn't just sneak through on aggregate against Real Madrid. We ripped them apart, you know, from minute one.
Yeah, I think
the other game will be a hungry game.
Mm-hmm. So you know, do we shouldn't even fear Inter Milan. You know, even there's a great thing what Dzeko's posted tonight on his social media about, you know, that his favourite put in a City shirt and one in a Inter shirt saying "See you in the final." Great touch by Dzeko. I just think.
Yeah.
Let's kneecap him in the first minute in the final.
No, I tell you what, it's going to be great to see him in it. He will not get anything other than a standing ovation. Yeah.
Yes, Martin. Martin, I'm going to have to explain this because it sounds so wrong. This, you get my videos, Andy. He sent me some videos of the Etihad tonight. That's what they call it. Hope Bellingham was watching that. Of course, he was part of Oaks. And I keep saying it. I still believe Bellingham will be joining City. You know, because they say that Liverpool, you know, he didn't go to Liverpool for whatever reasons. But Liverpool need a total revamp. Really, you've seen tonight. I think somebody said there, Modric and Toni Kroos, you know, they're, you know, and it's right that they're going to need to. Real Madrid can't just spend 130 million on Bellingham. They're going to need quite a few players to challenge now, because I think that would have shook them to the roots, Anne-Marie, tonight.
Oh, I think it will have done as well, which really pleases me, to be honest. I think we knocked the stuffing out of them a bit last week. And you could nearly see the anticipation in them tonight when they were playing against us in that first half. They were a bit like rabbits in a headlight. They didn't know which way to go. And the Spanish league, I mean, as you know, we've got our own financial fair play to deal with, but the Spanish league have got quite a strict one, haven't they? Mm-hmm. So to be able to go out and spend all that money on one player when actually you need maybe 4 players would be crazy for them.
Yeah.
And they've been linked with Mbappe as well. So they've got million on 2 players.
Yeah, someone made a point there about Everett. What's he doing in that red suit? Why don't he just get battered out of the Etihad? He's an absolute buffoon, that lad. He really is.
I'm glad he did it, because then you can spot who the clowns are quicker.
Not really.
Red flag.
Not really though, because Ferdinand and Michael Owen are in black suits, mate.
Yeah, no, but you can see them straight away, little and large. I was on Twitter to be saying, how come you're giving that the little fella than the big balloon, mate? And then when he turns around and says, they all I know for the fact City fans want this trophy more than anything. Not all of it.
Someone got something on in the background there.
I was thinking that. Is it you, Anne-Marie?
Yeah, Dad just going to bed.
Riyad's come home early, hasn't he?
Yeah, Riyadh came home early, yeah.
And Morg's hanging out the back bedroom, isn't he?
What's that? Sorry? Sorry?
Morg's is hanging out the back of the window, and Riyadh's just walked through the front door. We know.
Sub 2 says it's going to be 50-50. Any final against Champions League holders is going to be a tough one. I'd have preferred AC Milan in the final. I'm not gonna kid you there. But people are fearing us because that Paddy, that would, like I said earlier, that's going to send shockwaves around Europe. That how convincingly it was, like men versus boys, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I said it's still hard to take in how easy that was. Like we're talking about number one, we're talking about Real Madrid, and number two, we're talking about the semi-finals of a Champions League. And for one team to do that, the another team, you rarely see that. Like you rarely see that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was just Jesus. That was exhibition stuff at times. It was like we had 15 men on the pitch.
It was like a training ground performance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Marie, Spencer Mark says there, all the best players will want to play for City now. Another 10 years of dominating.
Well, that's an interesting comment. No, he isn't wrong. But what I find interesting is, and I think it's been mainly TalkSport again this week, complaining about us dominating the league.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've, all being well, we'll have won it 5 out of the last 6 seasons.
And 4 on the trot next season.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting that we're getting criticised for it. Yet in the 90s, when United were doing it, it was never an issue.
How wonderful they are.
Yes, all these homegrown players. Bullshit.
Class and true.
So it just again, it astounds me, the double standards, and I'd be more than happy to dominate for another 10 years. We go back to last weekend and we had our Aguero moment. Priceless moments that we could, for me growing up, I could only have dreamt, I only wanted to win a trophy. I never dreamt we could win the league.
I've only ever dreamt of growing up.
Well, yeah, we still all wish for that for you, Andy. But, what I've seen over the last 10, 11 years.
Move on from that one.
Yeah.
Swiftly moving on.
Yeah, it's been amazing and it's been an absolute joy to watch.
Yeah.
A joy to watch and be part of.
But Paddy, we can't underestimate, Inter Milan, but
no.
That old adage, one game at a time. The next game should bring us the Premier League. And then
that's the only thing I'd be confident of. That's going to happen this weekend either way.
Yeah. So then we've got a couple of weeks. Is it a couple of weeks rest then? Well, we've got a couple of games before the FA Cup final. So what I would do then, I'd bring Calvin Phillips in starting, to give Rodri a rest. It's all right, you saying that, Stanley. But that don't mean to say I would be resting Rodri completely. I'd bring him on sort of like midway through the second half just to keep his legs and his momentum going. So I thought Rodri was brilliant tonight. Again, it's just a great night to drool over what we've seen, Stan, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I know I'm pulling my face there about Calvin Phillips, but if we win the league on Sunday, or even if we win it Saturday, there's no reason why you can't start him and give him an hour. And then bring on Rodri to keep his legs going. It's, as we've been saying, it's a squad game. Laporte will start making he'll be back.
Sorry, Stan. Big Morg. She's not. Stan.
Alvarez will play more. Foden will start getting match time.
There's one there, Stan. Friend Spencer, I think looking at the club as a whole, youth teams, EDS, even women are going to rule the world. Well, and I've specifically read that out for you, Stan, because if we win the Premier League, what will we have in common with the youth teams, pal, this season?
We'll have won the treble, the league, 3 years on the bounce. And do you know who else has done that?
Nobody.
Correct. Trick question for pub quizzes.
I nearly turned into a Jimmy Savile one again.
But they have to, like, them kids, especially the EDS ones, like, they definitely have to be 2 or 3 of them coming through to the first team next year. They have to be.
The thing is, Paddy, people have said that. They said, but none of them are breaking in bar Foden. It's been a bit of a joke. Brahim Diaz was at City and he played in the other semi-final. They're not necessarily playing at City, but they are in the top 5 leagues in Europe and they are playing in top 10 teams. Yeah. So it's been, and you don't make, 160 million on the back of an academy if what you've been pumping out is rubbish. And we've still got players we're not sure what to do with.
I think, Stan, it's a great point, and I think that is a successful academy. I've touched on it a few times. If you're making decent money out of them players, not only are you making money, you're giving these kids a fantastic career, somewhere else. Whereas if they went to, I'll just pick a random team. If they went to, say, Macclesfield, I don't know why I said Macclesfield. If they went to Macclesfield, they might not make it Macclesfield, and all of a sudden they'll just slip out of football completely. So what we do is fantastic.
That doesn't matter, Andy. You inadvertently, you've made a really good point, because any coach worth his salt won't say that I want this player to play for A, B, or C. He will say, I want to make sure that his potential is realised. Now, if a kid's potential is Macclesfield and he gets there, the coach has done his job, clearly, without any disrespect to Macclesfield. We're going to be producing them better. Now, just goalkeepers, we've had 2, Gab Bazzuno and James Trafford. That's 2. Nobody's going to tell me they're not top quality keepers.
It looks
they may be unlucky and they're too young or a little bit too old to displace Edison. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, they'll get in most teams in that.
Well, I believe Trafford's right. Let's swing it back to the match tonight, because we're going off piste a little bit here, right? Because we're not doing our normal hour and plus show, because some of us are up at 3:00 for work in the morning.
Some of us have got a camp to finish.
So Pep will keep.
I'm not having a pop at you on that one.
Paddy, so Pep will keep their feet firmly on the ground despite him parading them in the in the centre circle tonight. He knows he'll probably give them. They'll probably go in for a warm down tomorrow properly, but they'll be so hungry, because I reckon they got them Premier League charges in the bleeding dressing room. So every time they go in there, it's like that. That's what we're fighting.
No, there's no way he let them off the hook. Not a hope. It might be mainly tactics and a debrief and stuff like that, and the training mightn't be that hard because the matches are coming thick and fast. The only way I can see him taking the foot off the pedal is as far as beats Arsenal, and then he can relax. Then the league is won. But that's only going to be short term until the FA Cup.
Yeah. So would you do what I mentioned about starting the likes of if we win the league, obviously if we win the league on Sunday, playing the likes of Phillips and that, and then just and even other players even say, well, if Aki's fit, I'm certain Aki will come into it because he's been out for a few weeks. But just doing that bit of rotation, you could even put Foden out on the left and stuff like that, because I thought the goal for what Foden set up tonight as well, it was just exquisite, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, as far as beat Arsenal, the Chelsea game becomes a friendly. So I know there wasn't an issue a few years ago where so many players were swapped in the team that you couldn't do it or something. There was some kind of consequence for that. I can't think now off the top of my head. But like, if we're clear winners facing Chelsea, right, and we won the league, I would change the teams at halftime, complete team.
You can't. You can only make
five changes. Yeah, and the changing the team too drastically was basically putting out weakened teams. Whereas I think if we completely swapped our first 11, that wouldn't be classed as weakening the team.
Yeah.
No, and
if you played 5 or 6 out of the first 11 in the first half, and then brought the other 5 on for the second half.
Well, we saw what happened in the derby with that at the Etihad. I nearly said Main Road then. At the Etihad, Pep made like 5 changes, and we just wasn't ourselves, was we?
It was the Leicester game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think to bring the light.
Yeah, he's funny like that though, isn't it? There'll be some record in his head that he'll want to go for, and he'll make sure that the team's going for it. He never really put kids in when Barcelona won the league when he was doing them, and he never really did it at the end of the season with Munich. I'm not sure if he. I would, and you would, Paddy, and most of us would, but we don't set the same path as him, do we? He'll have something mental in his head that he'll need to itch. And 95 times out of 100, it'll work.
Plus, Haaland will probably bang his door down saying, I want to play, because I want to break this season's record.
You'll probably find that he'll give Haaland and Alvarez a half each. But listen, I think it could also go the other way, because Pep knows he overthinks sometimes. So if he starts doing it in after the Chelsea match, the last remaining games against Brighton and Brentford, and by the way, Ivan Toney will be out for that as well. He's been banned for, is it 8 months?
Yeah.
8 months.
By the way, do you know what his initials are? Ivan Toney.
Go on.
No, and it's not a joke there. You just chun her on and I'll
Is it going to be something we really want to know?
No, I
tell you.
Idiot.
No.
Look at the concentration there on his little computer.
I know, with his one finger typing.
Right. I shit you not, this is Ivan Toney's name. Ivan Benjamin Elia Toney. What are them initials?
I bet.
Hey.
I bet they're not his initials.
It's not his fault. What are the odds on that?
Yeah, I'll have 5-1 against.
Evening, Alec. Listen, we'll cut it short there because I've got work at 5 in the morning. I just wanted us to do a quick show, because we want to try and get more content out in the week and stuff like that for you guys. Listen, Julie, Blue Art, Pardo, FIFA, Adam, everybody who's joined us, Big Morg, Big Morg.
Yeah, Big Morg.
Yeah, it's a rude.
I'd laugh
Yeah,
before Anne-Marie.
yeah. Everybody who's joined us, thanks very much. Listen, head over to the Mancunian Way now because I believe Martin's putting a stream out soon as he's home. So listen, you all know where Martin lives, not literally his house and stuff, but yeah. Pardo Oaks as well. Good to see you on TikTok last night as well, but I hope you enjoyed the show. Cheers, Julie. Thanks very much. DC, thanks very much. Listen, guys, next time we'll be on is Sunday night with our new resident Paddy.
With the cup.
Not our new resident Paddy. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? But our new panelist Paddy.
Can you just say one thing though, Andy, to close?
No.
It's dead quick. The difference between City and Madrid was when Walker caught up with Vinicius, took the ball off him, and then Vinicius just started walking back. It was like, you give up some. When Silva lost the ball, he was like a terrier and got it back and made sure they had nowhere to go. And that, in two bits, in the nutshell, was the difference.
And on that note, cheers, Stato.
Good night, folks.
And it's good night from me, and it's good night from Stan. Listen, have a great rest of the week, guys, and what a result for us. Thanks for joining us. Speak very soon on Sunday. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.